Rob Pelinka has some interesting comments about defeating the Golden State Warriors and how the Los Angeles Lakers were going in the opposite direction of beating the Golden State Warriors. And he basically said that trying to create a team to match the Golden State Warriors is a trap. And by doing so, you're putting yourself at a disadvantage to beat them and dethrone them. He mentioned the past championship teams and how if you look at how other large teams were taken down, they were based on defense, wild cards. He mentioned Dennis Rodman with Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Metta World Peace. So when you look at signings like Lance Stevenson, you're looking at somebody who's supposed to be LeBron's Dennis Rodman. When you look at Rajon Rondo, you look at somebody that's supposed to be LeBron's Ron Harper, which brings like playoff experience, stuff like that. Rob Pelinka essentially is saying that we're not trying to go try to play a team and try to beat them at their own strengths. We're trying to create a team with their own defined strengths and a team that is unique and has clear-cut advantages. For example, LeBron James wants to work in the post this season. Nobody's going to be able to stop him in the post. For example, Lakers seem to have a lot of two-way defenders and guys that can make decisions, playmakers. You know, so that's something that the Warriors are filled with. They're filled with Curry, Durant, Iguodala, Draymond Green. So you're looking at some guys from LeBron to Rondo to even Lance Stevenson. Those are guys that can make plays. I agree with everything Pelinka is saying. I have no problem with whatever he's saying. But the thing is, it's too early, in my opinion, to be mentioning the champs. You got to see how your team gels, finish making all your moves. You know, maybe the first 20 games you'll mention the Golden State Warriors, but they shouldn't be mentioning the Golden State Warriors at all. To me, it's like this. You're poking a bear. Like, they just swept LeBron James into the Western Conference. They swept him out of the Eastern Conference, swept him into the Western Conference. The year before that, they beat him in 5 games. You don't want to start mentioning how you're gunning for them, how you're creating a team that is, you guys have advantages and stuff like that. You're going to make the Warriors key in on you a whole heck of a lot. And that's what happened with the Houston Rockets. They were talking a lot of big talk. They were talking about how this team is built to beat the Warriors. And when it came to the Western Conference Finals, while they had an edge towards the end of the series, it all got relinquished. You know, Chris Paul injury, one could argue something. If he played, maybe it doesn't happen. But you got to remember, the Rockets lost by 40 in one of those games. So it was 2-1 to Golden State Warriors' favor. So somebody could argue, hey, if Golden State Warriors didn't have a subpar game 4, the series goes back to Houston 3-1. So, like, there's a lot of things, but a lot of ifs and buts. But what we do know happened, you know, what's written in history is the Golden State Warriors came out of that series. For me, Rob Pelinka's making a mistake by poking a bear. Now, every single time the Golden State Warriors look at the Los Angeles Lakers, they're like, okay, you got LeBron, you got this, that, and the third. This is what's going to happen to you. We're going to beat you by 20, by 30 every single time we play you guys. Even if you look at what Stephen Curry said, you know, he said things in the West are getting a lot more interesting. And even though the Los Angeles Lakers have LeBron James, you still got to go through us. So right then and there, he's sending a clear message. To me, you got to come in unassuming and just keep it as your motivation that you want to beat the Warriors. The problem with these teams, they don't want to build a team that just plays great basketball. They want to be the team to beat the Warriors. Well, to beat the Warriors, you have to play great basketball. To beat a high-level, high-achieving team, you have to play high-level, high-achieving basketball. You can't just simply focus on what they do. You got to focus on how to be the best you so they can focus on how to beat you. See what I'm saying? Like Houston, when they had a 3-2 series lead, they had the blueprint and everything. And to me, they still could have won that series even when CP3 went down because they had 15-point lead in game 6. No, 15-point lead in game 7, 20-point lead in game 6. So you still had leads. So there's still no excuse to losing that series, in my opinion. So you got to focus on what you do best. Stop focusing on those guys because that's where you're going to fall into the trap. So I applaud Rob Pelinka for his comments. I think they're spot on. But I think him mentioning the Golden State Warriors this early, the season hasn't even started. Free agency isn't even done. You're falling into the trap of focusing on them so much. Focus on you. Focus on creating the best team that you can create. And that's just the thing that you got to worry about.